Welp, it's not good. Okay, I do want to start out by saying some nice things about the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which, I don't know, what is this, the second or third one that says it's a direct sequel to the first movie? Okay, anyway, it is a good-looking movie. There's some truly gorgeous shots here. Hell, forget a trailer, you could sell this movie on just some frames of it. The cinematographer is a guy named Ricardo Diaz, and he does damn good work here. The kills are also very good, and it doesn't take long to get that started. If it's just simply a bloodbath that you want, it's here, and that part of it is impressive. I did like one particular scene where a girl is in a crawl space, and then the chainsaw is coming through the ceiling, chasing her around, and to add insult to injury, it cuts through a pipe that empties shit on her. But look, the whole series has Leatherfaces with different sets of strength. Sometimes he's human, other times he's an immortal mutant. Here, Leatherface looks like he's Rob Zombie's Michael Myers with the strength of Jason Voorhees, which I don't even think that's the first time that's been the case. There's so many damn timelines and reboots and remakes and prequels to this series that each one of them is confusing for different reasons. Here they open again with John Larroquette doing narration, only instead of it being a crawl, it's a documentary they're watching on TV, a documentary that is showing clips of the first movie. There was a second where I was thinking, oh, is this a universe where the first one is a movie, and this is the, quote, true story we're seeing, where it's about the real Sally and Leatherface? No, they don't do that, so I suppose the movie took it literally when people said the first one looked like a documentary, so I guess there really was a cameraman there. What kills it for me is this is one in a long line of slashers in the last 20 years where they saddle us with the most obnoxious characters possible so that we actively root for the serial killer. The movie also wants to be a commentary on influencers, so it's about a group of internet celebrities who purchase a ghost town in the deep south where they instantly start talking shit to a guy with a gun and telling him he has a tiny dick. Then they're flabbergasted that this town that looks like a leftover set from 2000 Maniacs has a Confederate flag in it. They want to turn this town into, I don't know, their own little social media utopia. And they have a woman thrown out of her house because they think they own it, and this ends up killing the woman. But oops, this is an orphanage where Leatherface has been living since '74. Don't ask, I can't really explain that one either. I know that it wants these characters to be smug, self-righteous, and narcissistic. This is like Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the universe of an Eli Roth movie. But something can still have a point and be obnoxious about it. I still have to want to watch a movie about these people. There has to be something interesting about them, other than their asses and you're going to applaud when they die. But I will say it does kill off its most unlikable character early on. Unfortunately, it also kills off its only likable character early on. It's not really even consistent with its tone. The big set piece is when all the influencers are live streaming in a bus and Leatherface butchers every single one of them. Again, the effects are great, it's well shot, and it's probably the most carnage Leatherface has done in a single scene. It feels like the whole movie is being sold around this one scene, because it's also the part that's got the most satire, like people watching this live-streamed mass murder, and the chat is saying things like, "That looks fake." But then it gets weird, because in the middle of this wacky influencer massacre, a character starts having PTSD and flashbacks to a school shooting she survived. Oh, did I not mention it's also about school shootings? Because of course it is. And I know I haven't really mentioned the return of Sally much in this review, because there's not a lot to say. I'll give it this, Olwen Ferrare looks the part. I can buy her looks-wise as an older Sally Hardesty. But, I mean, you can tell from the trailer, this is a straight ripoff of what they did with Laurie Strode in Halloween 2018, where she's now gritty and a survivalist and wants to find Leatherface. Oh yeah, that's another thing. How is it in 50 years no one has found this guy or his family? But But even with it being ripped off of that doesn't mean it still can't be good. I like a ton of films that have ripped off stuff from Halloween movies. Sadly, they do nothing with Sally. This is a bare bones version of Laurie. Sally is barely in the film. She's in it a few times, off and on, and then comes in more during the last act, and all of her dialogue mostly consists of nothing deeper than, "I've been waiting for this for 50 years. Now sure, they didn't do a lot with Laurie in Halloween Kills, but this version of Laurie was already established in the previous one. We knew enough about the character, and we saw what the events of the first film did to her, her family, and her sanity. It filled in the gaps of the last few decades. Here, oh, Sally's a farmer and looks at a picture of the characters from the first movie a lot. That's all you know about her. And like every other character in this, you're just left wondering what in the hell was the point of that character even being there? They did her wrong here. Not only was it pointless, but they have her do some wildly stupid shit. Is it the worst of the series? Well, as uneven as the series is, a lot of the other sequels and remakes do have things in them that pull you in and keep them memorable. Whether it's the brilliant dark humor of the second, Viggo Mortensen and Ken Foree in the third, McConaughey in the fourth, R. Lee Ermey in the remake series. And I don't remember much about this one, but I don't remember hating it. I'd say 3D is probably still the worst, because at least this one knows what year the original was set in, even if I do still have some questions about Leatherface's age. Apparently this movie tested very poorly, and I'm wondering if there's a lot of stuff that ended up on the cutting room floor, which would explain how severely underwritten some characters are, and the fact that the movie is only 73 minutes long. That's right, it's got the longest ending credits so far this year, at about 8.5 minutes, and if you cut those minutes out, it's a 73-minute movie. Thank God this wasn't in theaters. I'll give it a D+. It was almost a C- because of the death scenes and some of the shots, but I'm just too indifferent towards it to be nice. It's not a very good movie. Anyway, if you want more, check out our recent Cinema Snob episode on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and subscribe to our channel today. See you next time.